Okay, sorry for the interruption there. So we were looking at the tree for the else clause in the if then else, and we had used the axiom of assignment on the statement in the else, I set equal to m, to generate this precondition here. Right? And so we then ask, all right, how can we use the rule of consequence to somehow strengthen this condition we've gotten here, to get something that's going to match what we require, right, up here in the if then else. Namely, there's some q and not m greater than m is going to be our precondition on the else part. And so what we can do is come down here and say, well, this would hold if we let q just be an abbreviation for this precondition that we generated with the loop invariant. All right, so in this case, all we've done is strengthen the precondition with this extra clause of not m greater than n, and we now have something that lines up with exactly what we needed here in the T-else branch. So we can now continue on and create the proof tree for the then branch. Alright, so in this case, what do we need to do? Well, again, we have an assignment statement, and so we can think, what's going to happen if we use the axiom of assignment? Right? So in this case, our assignment is I set equal to n, right? And what that gives us then is exactly, well, almost exactly what we saw before in the else case, but now it's n that gets plugged into this precondition that we're creating in this case. All right, so this is our axiom of assignment again. And as we can see, we're not quite ready to use that. We need to do something with a rule of consequence again, right? So that we can plug these pieces together. All right, so just as before, we can think, all right, given this precondition that we've generated here, so let's give this a name as well. We'll call this one Qn. Right, and so what we would like to see is that Q and m greater than n implies Q sub n. Right? And so if we look at Q sub n, right, it says, well, if every j greater than n is not a common divisor, and Q says the same thing about m, right, that everything greater than m is not a common divisor. So if we know m is greater than n, and we know q holds, then we know q sub n holds. Right, so this is a true little statement here, and so we can reason about that. And then plugging in our axiom of assignment use here, all right, we have a proper use of the rule of consequence. And I might go back up to the else clause here and add one thing we left out, which was that we needed the axiom of assignment use here as well. All right, it's those two things. Those are the two pieces in the rule that we use in the consequence rule. All right. So we now have the then branch and the else branch completed, right? And so we can think of our last piece. If we scroll back up, right? Our last piece then is to do something with this piece here. All right, so what we've called T assigns. All right. All right, So we'll pause here so none of these videos get too long, and we'll pick up t assign in the next one.